Hi, and welcome to episode 96 of C3 Crystals, Cauldrons, and Cocktails. I'm Wren.
And I'm River.
And today we are talking about dream magic. But first, what are we drinking?
The most important question of the day.
Yes.
So I wanted to do a brandy drink. We wanted to do a brandy drink because we're trying to separate we're coming along on our little cocktail book. And we don't have that many brandy drinks. And I'm like, if we're going to do it by sections of vodka and rum and all of that, we need more brandy drinks. So we came up with this one. And boy, it is stout and very, very good. It is called the Devil's Delight. And it is, well, what we've come up with so far, and I think it's a keeper, is equal parts brandy, equal part lemon juice, and equal part Grand Marnier or any other orange liqueur. And it is stout. I mean, that's pretty much all liquor, but it is so good. And then you sugar the rim of your glass. Oh,
yeah. That's very, the sugar, it's the sugar for me. The sugar is really good. And you have like that bit of sweet every single time you take a sip, and that's my favorite part.
Well, and the lemons, I know you love lemons. That's a Wren thing for sure. But they are stout, but they don't taste like it. So they're dangerous. But so good. So forgive us as we go. We're going to be
These
more
are actually
and more drunk. Yes, as the afternoon goes on. So, okay. So dream walking is our topic. And we've done an episode on dreams. We did episode 26. You all should go check it out. It's a general dream episode, talks about what are dreams, what the types of dreams are, and some of the meanings behind them, which we can do podcast after podcast episode on dream interpretations.
Oh yeah. Haven't we've done like a small episode on dreams.
It was episode 26. Yeah.
Yeah. When I say small, I mean, I think it was small, but we had like basic information, but also like, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I went back and actually looked at the notes on that one because I didn't want to repeat ourselves, and I didn't want to do an episode we had already done, but we didn't touch on dream walking at all.
No, we didn't. We did just like basics of dreams and kind of like understanding and what could something mean in a dream.
In a dream. Like I do remember we talked about my toilet dreams that I have all the time.
Yeah, you're weird.
Well, no, I was reading apparently a lot of people have those dreams.
It's just so interesting to me because, I mean, I've been having weird dreams recently where like people I haven't seen in like half a year now, I would say, are just like randomly popping up in my dreams. And they're the same people where I feel like, and this hasn't happened, but now I'm like, maybe my witchy sense is off because I turned my husband and I was like, oh, so blah, blah, blah is going to reach out to you soon. You know, I could just feel it. They haven't reached out at all. And I'm like, are my witchy senses? Nothing.
Huh. Yeah, I had a dream about a childhood friend the other day. I haven't seen this person in like 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, very strange.
It's odd because like these people keep popping up in my dreams. It's like the most like mundane things. Like it's not important at all. It's just like, oh, we hang out and we, you know, enjoy our time. Like, you know, how we used to and all of that. But it's just weird because it's the same people where I look at my husband, I'm like, oh, I have this sense, but like they're probably going to reach out to you at some point, and maybe they did, and he just forgot to tell me they reached out,
or maybe they tried and couldn't get him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm like I think I know when people are thinking about me or so. And it like pops up in my head. I don't know. You guys think I'm crazy, probably.
No, I think probably most of our listeners, being witches themselves, also have that kind of sense about things.
Yeah.
I mean, every witch is different and every witch's abilities are different. But I bet there's others out there like you that have that
like
cognitive.
I just know.
Yeah, I know this is going to happen. Yeah.
But then it doesn't happen. I'm confused.
Well, usually it does, though. I mean, that's the thing. With you, it almost always does.
It almost always. And this one, I guess, is one of the almosts because it hasn't happened yet.
I see your selenite tower that I gave you for Christmas one year.
She's glowing back here.
She's beautiful.
I can also make her spin, but I'm not going to do that right now because she makes a noise because
Oh,
the selenite, she's pretty heavy on the
mm-hmm.
machine that makes the color, so it goes. And I don't think we want I don't think our listeners want that in the background.
Probably not. Oh, guys, we have to tell you, we have both now gotten new microphones and new headphones. So hopefully the audio quality has gone up a notch with this episode. So let
I
us
hope
know
so.
if there's a problem, let us know that too, because we can always go back to what we had before. So,
Yeah. I
but I
mean,
do think this is a step up.
I hope so. I think it sounds better on my end at least because all the ones that I've had have been very bad,
Hmm.
to say the least. So hopefully it's better.
Yeah, I think we sound great now. I think because we tested
Yeah.
them out, and I mean, I think it sounds good, but you all be the judge of that and let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, so dream walking. This is different than just the random dreams that we have every night. Dream walking, which can also be called dream linking, is the ability to travel among dreams and not just your own dreams, but
Hmm.
someone else's. So basically it happens when one person enters the dream space or the consciousness of another person. And when this is done subconsciously and without control, it's called shared dreaming. And that happens by accident a lot, I think. But
Hmm.
dream walking is the ability to do it on purpose. So I thought that
Okay.
was interesting. One of
Okay.
the websites I used almost extensively throughout this podcast episode, Alora from the otherworldlyoracle.com, she had an excellent article, which of course I will post with this podcast. And she said she has had shared dreams since she was 16 years old. I mean,
But
can you imagine?
how? Wait, how do you know they're shared?
Well, she said that people would tell her that they dreamed of her the night before and they would describe to her exactly the same dream that she had had.
Oh,
And so that
see,
was before she knew how to do it on purpose. It was just happening.
this
Yeah.
morning I looked for that a lot because this morning my husband turned to me. He's like, I had a weird dream last night. And I was like, I had a weird dream last night. And I was like, tell me what yours was. And it was
Hmm.
nothing like mine. But I was like, because he was in my dream. So I didn't know
Hmm.
if maybe we had this shared dream. And I know that there are some links between like people who sleep next to each other for long periods of time
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
they tend to have linked dreams. And so
Hmm.
I've been waiting because I've been sleeping next to my husband now for what, 7 years
Hmm.
and still nothing.
Well, I mean, we don't remember a good portion of our dreams.
That's very true.
I think
Recently, I've been remembering a lot of my dreams, which is
see,
weird
that's
for me.
interesting. And that is a clue that you might be astral projecting in at night, or you might be dream walking. So I'll get into the how you can tell if you have or not. But I think I have had connected dreams before, but nothing earth shattering where it was like, oh yeah, you had on this red dress and you did this. Nothing that earth shattering. So some of the stories on here are so fascinating. And I want to work on doing this on purpose. But I also feel like when you're married to someone, you become more and more linked on their level because you share time together, you share thoughts together. So you
Yeah.
know that person really,
I
really
don't
well.
I don't know because like even though I know like we know each other very well, we're both very different people. Like we both have
But
very different like ideals and like just how we think and how we view the world is very different.
you all both know how the other thinks, which is critical to being able to
Yeah.
share. And it's something that, well, I'll tell you how people do it. Um, fascinating.
Okay,
This
tell me.
topic, it actually ended up more interesting than I thought it was. I thought, oh, this is going to be a real short topic. I don't even know if it's real or not. And
Hmm.
now I 100% believe it's real. I
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Because I had read about it in books and seen it in movies and all of that. And I'm like, that was, she's making herself some more. Don't you spill that brandy.
I'm not gonna spill it. I'm just pouring
I'm not,
myself a little bit more.
I'm not going to spill it.
The equal
Okay.
parts were kind of off.
We'll be right back.
You're sitting alone when suddenly a sultry voice starts whispering to you. It's my voice.
And mine.
No, shut up. let me talk. This voice continues to tell you about a podcast that's been banned around the world for being too ridiculously sexy. I'm your host, Dana.
And I'm your host, Mayan.
And we'll take you on a journey of a lifetime.
Experience hilarious conversations about serious topics.
The coolest show no one's talking about.
Best worst case scenario podcast.
BWCS.
See you there.
Okay. Dream walking is the movement of a person in a state of lucid dreaming, which is a very key term, from their own dream into the dream of another, or using dream space to travel to a different place in the real world, which that can also be. We did an episode on astral projection too. I think that was episode 10 of our After Dark series. So if you're not a patron or a subscriber, you didn't get to listen to that one.
And a lot of those, I think I got astral projecting and sleepwalking, I guess, confused. So go listen.
Dream walking. Mm-hmm. I think so. So yeah, go listen to become a subscriber and or patron and come listen to our astral projection, because they are very similar. There are similarities. I will get into the differences in a minute. Mm-hmm. But dream walking allows the dream walker to interact with a dreamer while they're asleep. And so you can actually have conversations or be reunited with someone who's physically far away, which is the coolest thing, or spend time together on the spiritual realm, which could also be astral projection. Mm-hmm. And some people do say, oh, dream walking is astral projection. And other people say, no, they're two different things. Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the differences. Astral projection has been referred to as when a soul leaves your body and then travels to other realms in time and space, whereas dreaming is your mind traveling. You're not, your essence is not leaving your body. Your mind is leaving your body. Mm-hmm. Dreaming is something that happens within our minds from these random pictures that resurface based on what we saw throughout the day, or, there is scientific, although they really don't know, but there is a scientific process that happens when you're dreaming. It has to do with your brain and memories and that kind of thing. But, so we're replaying things. Did you know actually that it's said that you never dream about something or someone that you've never seen before?
I don't believe that.
Yeah, it's very interesting because supposedly your mind, and I don't know who they are that says this, but your mind doesn't have the ability to make up in your dreams things that you've never seen before. And I find that I'm very skeptical of that comment.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Like, I've heard that too, but we can easily put things together. I've seen many people's facial features. So what makes me not be able to take, their nose, somebody else's eyes, somebody else's mouth, and then my brain just creates a person in my head with different features. I think.
Well, think about art.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can create here.
Yeah. I love fantasy art and, the deviant art, that kind of thing with the fantasy, fairies and that kind of thing. And these are not real people that they're painting.
Yeah. And think about it. So some people are able to actually picture things in their head and some people can't, in that
you
way.
Told me that blew my mind.
Yeah, because I'm a very I think I can imagine the color red, I can imagine all of these, and some people just can't do that. And so what maybe somebody who the person who said you can't see a face that you haven't seen in person in your dream, blah blah blah, maybe they're just not a person who can visualize things like that.
Maybe so. I remember my husband was reading a Reddit thread, and it was, I think I fucked up the Reddit thread that goes into that. And one of it was this girl who said, I think I fucked up by talking to my boyfriend about my inability to see. She's one of those people that cannot picture things in her head, which blows my mind. I can't understand that. But she is one of those people. And so she was telling her husband about that. And turns out he is the same way. But he didn't know. He had never been introduced into that. And so it freaked him out. And she's like, I think I fucked up. He's all screwed up now in the head.
He's like, people can actually picture things in their head.
Yeah. I mean, he had no idea.
It's interesting for me to think about. Like, I can't quite wrap my head around it because I'm like, why can't people, like, if you're reading a book and you picture these scenes and they
Yes, it's
say
like a
there's a
movie
tree,
in your
yeah,
head.
like there's a tree across the way. Okay, tree across the way. Like,
Mhm.
I have that in my
Mhm.
head, even if that's not a real place. Or if it's a place that's real and I've seen it before, my brain will pull up an image that, reminds me
Yeah,
of what that phrase is.
that's the writer's job, is to create
That
these landscapes in
visual.
your brain.
Yeah.
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 And so
Yeah.
I actually didn't know until my husband was reading that Reddit thread that there were people that couldn't visualize the
Yeah.
color. Even blind people visualize things. They dream. They have
Mm-hmm.
movies and they see
Yeah.
in their dreams. So
So,
anyway, totally off topic, but another very cool topic. I mean, I had no
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, but what do they see? Like off
I
topic, but
know.
on topic, because if, like, let's say someone was born with sight and then they lost their sight, that's normal. They can probably
Hmm.
put together the pieces.
Hmm.
But if somebody was born blind, what do they see?
Yeah. And how do they describe to us what it is that they see?
It has to be
I
very
mean, they might say, "Oh, it's a tree," and so we picture a tree in our head,
our
but that might
tree,
not
but
be
it's
what
not their tree.
yeah.
That's what I always ask about colorblind people, and
Hmm.
where like they're like, oh yeah, I know that that's the color green based off of what society has said is green,
Hmm.
like the green on the trees, but that's not actually the color that they see. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what color do you see? And maybe it's a lack there of color, but it's still something that you see. So what do you see as close to as what I can see? But everybody sees colors differently.
Yeah. My husband, I don't know if I've ever told you this or not, but he is colorblind. He is red-green
Mm-hmm.
colorblind.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have a light color blindness to browns and
really,
purples, like dark
that's
colors.
that's unusual for women. I think colorblindness is actually usually a male characteristic.
Yeah, I got it from both my mom and my dad's side. So,
Oh, wow.
hmm
Interesting.
yep.
Yeah, but he'll put on clothes, and he's not horribly colorblind, but enough with the greens that, he'll put on clothes and I'm like, "What are you wearing?" And then I'll pause and I'm like, "Okay, what color do you think you're wearing?"
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Oh, these are gray pants and a striped top." And I'm like, "Those are not gray pants and they do not go with the colors and the striped top that you got on." It's very funny, but
Oh man,
anyway,
your poor
so
husband.
I know. And he's not that bad. I had a friend whose husband was 100% colorblind, and
Hmm.
whenever she was mad at him, he would come to her because he was totally colorblind, and he'd say, "Does this look okay?" And when she was pissed off at him, she'd go, "Yeah, it looks great," and let him walk out the door with these totally mismatched
Oh.
colors. I know. She was very funny. Anyway, um, so actual astral projection versus dream walking, they say that astral projection is where your actual soul, your essence, your being departs from your body and actually visits other places, whereas dreaming is your mind envisioning things that it's already seen and perhaps visiting other places. There is a fine line there. Did you know that you actually have your longer dreams at night in the morning?
Oh, I mean, I could see that. I could,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Because
I
I
mean,
mean,
a
I
normal,
remember a lot based on like when I wake up.
that's true. That's true. But like your sleep cycle, I think you go into your deep sleep first. And then after your body's repaired itself, your mind has repaired itself and processed everything that you dealt with in your deep, deep sleep. Then you can go into the REM sleep, which is where you have the dreams, which is also another factor in repairing your thought process. But
Hmm.
yeah, so that makes sense. And the way I kept coming across it in article after article, and they're like, "Oh, it's always in the morning." And I'm like, but is it really the morning or is it the end of your sleep cycle? Because I have
Hmm.
friends who are nurses and they work the night shift. And so their quote morning is at night because that's when they get up to go to work. And so
Yeah.
I would think that their sleep cycle would be, their dreams would be whatever their quote morning is, whatever the time is that they're getting close to waking up, the end of their sleep cycle, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how can you tell if you're dream walking at night? So your dream might be especially vivid. I think all of us have had dreams where we wake up and that was like I thought it was real. I felt like I was there.
Yep.
They almost have this hyper real quality to it. Like if you visited strange places and talked to different people in that dream, there is a good chance that your mind wandered into somebody else's dreams. Also, another sign is that if you wake up exhausted, even though you slept all night, that might be a sign that you've been dream walking. Sometimes dream walking can leave the body feeling unrested in spite of being physically in the bed. Your mind wasn't in the bed. It was working. It was doing things.
Yeah.
And speaking of color blindness, like I forgot this. This is around 12% of people still dream in black and white.
Really?
They don't dream in color. And the theory is that back in the day, and I'm skeptical about this as well. Back in the day when people grew up, they only had black and white television. And so they're saying it's really older people that dream in black and white because they grew up with black and white TVs. And I'm like, to me, that makes no sense because we live in color.
Yeah.
Everything happening around us is in color. Why would just watching TV make you dream in black and white? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, that doesn't make sense to me.
That's one of the theories. But apparently there is a small percentage of people that do not dream in color.
Interesting. I dream in color.
I do too. I dream full movies in my head. I mean,
I don't, not full movies, but mine are more like chunks of weird random stuff.
That's my husband. He will dream, I'm making lemonade and then he's on a Ferris wheel and then he's, flying and my dreams they have a plot. They're like little movies in my head.
Yeah, you're just weird.
I know I am very weird. And supposedly when you're not astral, but dream walking, people don't necessarily look like people in your dreams. They might appear distorted some way, like surrounded by light or colors, or you might perceive them as energy instead of having a human form. Another sign that you might be dream walking is if you visited a place in your dream that you've never been in the waking world, but you remember details of it and the place feels familiar to you.
I don't ever know where I am in my dreams. I'm just there.
I mean, I don't know. I had a dream the one time that I ever died, and we probably talked about this in our dream episode, because, they say if you die in your dream, you die in real life. But
yeah,
I was gunned down in a mall on an escalator coming down. There was nothing I could do to get off the escalator, and I was machine gunned. And then I woke up. So I knew I was in a mall. I was shopping.
Are you sure you weren't like in somebody else's body? Have you tried to Google like machine gun shootings in malls?
No. Oh.
You should do that.
No.
You should do that. Maybe you were astral projecting and like hitching a ride on somebody.
Oh, that's fascinating. I hadn't even thought of that. Anyway, another way that you might know that that creeps me out. So we're moving on. You see someone in a dream and then later discover that they also dreamed about seeing you. That's another sign.
I haven't had that happen to me.
You know how sometimes you wake up really fast, like suddenly, and you feel like you've been slammed back into your body?
No.
I've had that before.
I haven't had that, I don't think.
And I'm totally disoriented. Like, how did I get here? Where am I?
Well, I do have those times when my alarms wake me up and I like wake up and I'm like, where am I? But other than that, no.
See, I wonder what you were dreaming at the time that your mind does that.
I don't know.
Because we don't remember a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you dream that you're astrally traveling, you might really be dream walking.
Okay.
If you recall unusual sensory experiences from your dreams, such as a loud buzzing or ringing in your ears, or feeling tingling throughout your entire body, or you might see patterns of light, energy, or visual distortion, that's a sign that you might have been dream walking. When you close your eyes, and you know how there's light patterns behind your eyes when you close your eyes, do you see geometric figures?
Yes.
Okay. I thought it might just be me.
It's not just one color. It's all rainbow like.
Me too.
Because fun fact, some people can only see one color. Some people don't even see colors at all.
No, mine are multiple colors.
Mine are like rainbow, multiple colors, and sometimes it turns white, like white and black, but mostly it's like colorful, and then it goes to white and black, and then it goes to black.
Have you ever seen, like, when you put sound waves on a platform and pour salt on it, the different sound waves will form different geometrical shapes? That's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of the geometrical things I see in my head when I close my eyes. I physically
That's
see it.
that's not similar to what I see. You
Hmm.
know, like those telescope thingies as a
Yeah, the
kid,
kaleidoscopes. Yeah.
kaleidoscopes. That's what mine kind of looks like. Kind of. That's
Interesting.
the closest thing that I can, kind of think of what it kind of looks like.
Okay. If you dream of flying or falling, you're probably dream walking.
I have
I've had,
only dreamt that I was flying like once or twice, and then falling. I have fallen and hit the bottom before.
see, and you didn't die in real life.
No, but
Well,
I
but
didn't
did you
die in my
die?
dream. No, I could feel all the pain and everything, and then I woke up.
Interesting. If you arrive in a location quickly without understanding exactly how you got there, like you didn't take a bus or a car or a plane in your dream, but you've arrived there, that might be a scene. A scene. Okay, these drinks really are. We're going to try to have a really good episode, but excuse us if we can't talk. That might be an indication that you're dream walking.
See, that's interesting because in my dreams, usually like we're here, and then like I open a door, I walk in, and I'm somewhere else. And
But
it's
see,
normal in my dream. Like it's normal. It's like, oh yeah, that's supposed to happen. But then you
my
wake up and you're
husband does
like,
that. He's
how
like,
did
he'll
I
open
do
a
that?
door and walk from, a beach into a high-rise apartment. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just crazy. I
Yeah.
don't I don't
It
dream
like
like that.
transfers, but when you get there, it's not like in your head, you're like, whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen unless if you're
Hmm.
like, awake in your dream, like you're aware of
Well,
what's going on.
I mean, I do dream movies, so it's common in movie scenes to go from one scene to another, and it's perfectly
Mm-hmm.
natural without actually having to go through all the steps to get to the next scene. I
Yeah.
don't know. I read this one story on Reddit about a guy who had this super vivid dream where he was dreaming and he invited these people to come into his dining room, this dining room space that wasn't his dining room. It was just a dining room.
Yeah.
And he said he opened these back doors and the people came from their rooms into his dining room. And he said he could see through them. They weren't like normal humans. He could see into their bodies. He could see their veins. He could see their souls.
Hmm.
And the way they talked, it wasn't communication with words. It kind of imprinted their thoughts onto the souls of the other person to talk. And in his dream, he knew that these people were all asleep. And then later he woke up and he asked one of his friends that had been in his dream if she had dreamed. And she said, yeah, I had this really weird dream where I went to this dining room and there wasn't any food, but we were all talking. That
Hmm.
is just creepy.
That is interesting.
And so I think that guy managed to do dream walking. There is a way once you learn how to dream walk where you can, like we talked about an astral projection, where you create a safe space that you can go
Mm-hmm.
to. I think
Yeah.
that was what his dining room was. I think he created that in the dream world. And these back doors, he was opening other people's dreams and
Huh.
inviting them in. And some came and some didn't. And the ones that came, like he said, he was very disappointed in this one guy that was a friend, because once he saw his soul, he knew that he wasn't a good person.
Oh,
Isn't that bizarre? He was
interesting.
so disappointed. Yet, what a very strange occurrence.
Hmm.
So, how do you intentionally dream walk? So, first, you need to consider why and who you want to visit in your dream.
Okay.
Okay, so are you wanting to visit them because you want to spy on them? Or
Yes.
are you hoping to are you hoping to eavesdrop and see if they like you, or
Yes.
what they really think about you?
Yes. All of
Um,
the above.
yeah, Wren and I don't judge, obviously, because she's right there on board. But you do need to be aware in your own mind why it is that you're wanting to go into this
Mm-hmm.
privacy of
Mm-hmm.
another person, and think how would you feel if
Yeah,
someone,
it'd be very
you know,
invasive.
it
Yeah.
could be. I mean, speaking of privacy, did you know that you're more likely to dream about sex if you sleep face down? Do you sleep on
I
your stomach?
uh mm, Yes and no. I sleep on my side. I sleep weird. I sleep like on my side, like kind of half on my stomach with my arm up, and my head is on my arm, and then my left arm is up and my head is on my left arm, where my right arm is like cuddling a pillow or my husband
or
or
your
something.
husband. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I can't sleep on my stomach because my boobs are too big. So it hurts to sleep on my stomach. But I thought that was interesting because my husband sleeps on his stomach. So now I'm going to have to go and ask him, honey, you have a
Oh,
lot of sex dreams that you want to tell me about?
don't share. Don't share.
Okay. After dark. We'll share that on After Dark. Um, if you haven't done this before and you really don't know what it's about, which I didn't know anything about it,
Hmm.
it's an actual process that you've got to go through. You can't just say one day, I'm going to dream walk tonight. There is a lot that goes into the ability of training your mind to be able to do this.
Hmm.
So the first thing I would suggest, sorry, is to start by dream journaling. And I think we talked about that in our dream
Yes.
episode.
Yes, we did. I
That you
remember.
should. So start by dream journaling. This will help you start to be able to remember your dreams and
Okay.
to start understanding your dream process, because everybody's
Yep.
dreams are different. You might find that you have recurring dreams and don't even know
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
like my bathroom dreams. Have you
Yeah,
ever
your weird bathroom
the
dreams,
dreams
weirdo.
about your teeth falling out?
I've had a couple of those. Yeah.
That's a recurring dream of
But
mine
that's
too. It's
only like when I'm feeling super anxious and like I'm worried about something.
they say
That's
that's a
Mhm.
stress dream. And
That's
actually,
only
did you
when.
know that if you are not very stressed in your life, you'll have happier dreams?
Well,
I mean,
none
it
of my
makes sense.
I guess none of my dreams are very happy, I suppose.
Hey, you shouldn't be stressed yet at all. You're in that in between the real world
Hey,
and
I
college.
am stressed because I got to find a real job. I got to be a real human,
Oh, well, that's true. I suppose
even though
so.
I don't want to be a real human. I just
Yeah, I
want to
hear
live in
you.
a van. I want to live in a van and I want to travel around the US and then go into Canada and then go down into South America. I want to travel.
We should sell everything and go live in a forest somewhere.
I like that
And
idea.
I suppose our husbands could come too if they want to.
I like that idea. I don't think my husband would like that idea.
Really?
Yeah, he's a city boy.
I mean, I like the comforts as well, but have you seen some of the RVs and converted vans and stuff that are out there? They're
Yeah,
pretty
I
nice.
really want one.
And me too.
I'm
Hey,
I'm I'm in
we
the
should
middle of trying
buy
to convince my husband to do that.
we should buy a school bus and
Yeah,
renovate it and go
yeah,
traveling together
yeah. I
and
want
just
to do that.
quit our jobs. Well, you don't have one to quit, but
Nope.
have your husband quit his job and my husband quit his job and just go traveling and live in forests and commune with the birds. I like that idea.
I like that idea too. I would 100% do that right now, but my husband says no, so I guess
You
not.
got to get a real job.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, fine, whatever you say.
Okay, fine.
We gotta be real people.
Another way that you can prepare yourself for dream walking is to, and this is really cool because I've seen, anyway, let me tell you what it is first.
Okay.
You ask yourself throughout the day if you're dreaming. This gets you in the habit of asking yourself, am I dreaming? Like set your alarm and go every hour. Am I awake?
Mm-hmm.
And this will eventually carry over into your dreams where you will then realize, hey, I'm not awake, I'm asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw, the TV show Evil. I don't know if you've ever watched it or not. You know me and my TV shows. I watch bunches
Yes,
of them.
yes, you do.
So there's one called Evil. And in that show, the main character, she was having these horrible sleep paralysis dreams. Well, she wasn't sure if they were dreams, but
Mm-hmm.
her psychiatrist told her, tie a red string around your wrist. And during the day, you set an alarm and you check your wrist and see if it's there. And that way she would know she's awake. And so she did this for weeks and weeks and weeks. And she was, got into the habit of checking for the red string.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this once she was in this horrible scene and she's like, is this real? Is this not real? And she looked down to see if her bracelet was there and it wasn't there. And so she knew
Oh.
she was dreaming, and then she was able to take control of her dream and get herself out of it without having to experience
Well,
that horrible night terrors or whatever it was.
that's where I would just gaslight myself and say, oh, it just fell off. I was just like, yeah, no, it just fell off,
See that.
Oh, man.
You can also use positive affirmations. So you can speak this lucid dreaming into existence. So before you fall asleep, you tell yourself, I'll know that I'm dreaming. When I go into a dream, I'm going to know.
Okay.
And that's actually called MILD, or mnemonic induction to lucid dreaming, MILD. And you reinforce the statement in your brain by creating this positive affirmation that will come true, which is how a lot of us manifest things. A lot of witches manifest the same way. You talk things like, you got mad at me, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago when it was when we were on vacation, when you were upset because I was like, oh, I don't look good and that kind of thing. And you're like, you can't talk that way about yourself because you manifest it into being.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can use it for dream walking by manifesting these things into being as well. You say it positively. I am going to remember my dreams. So this is going to take a lot of practice. Some people never are able to do this, and some people are pretty good at it and get good at it fairly quickly. But once you're good at lucid dreaming, then you're going to be able to consciously enter another person's dream. And they say you do this by saying his or her name or focusing on a familiar portal that holds some kind of meaning to them, which is why I was saying it was important that you and your husband, even though you don't agree with each other's thoughts a lot of times, or don't think the same way, you know what he thinks. So then you can come up with something that holds meaning to him to be able to enter his dreams.
Okay.
As with most spell work, pretty much all spell work, as we say over and over again, you need to set your intention, get in the correct mind space, and focus your mind. I mean, that's the basics of every spell that you're going to cast.
Mm-hmm.
So in the best circumstances, the person that you are hoping to dream walk with will be in on the plan. So that's where I feel like you and your husband, I mean, number one, you're physically close because you're in the same bed. And number two, you're mentally close because you know each other so well. So I feel like that is a great place to start with the attempt of dream walking, is someone who's close to you like that.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know, I read one story on Quora where this guy said that he was dream walking with a dead person.
Oh.
And I found that, I thought, what? And the answer that someone responded on Quora was just fascinating. The answer was that seeing the souls of the deceased means that your soul and their soul are actually meeting. Since when you're asleep, part of your soul leaves your body. And this guy said your soul has 7 parts, 3 parts which exit the body during sleep. And he said that anything a dead person tells you in a dream is 100% true, and you should follow it without hesitation. Isn't that fascinating?
Sorry, I'm just thinking. Yeah, I'm like, okay. So
does that mean that when you're dead, your soul has 7 parts and parts of it are floating around too?
I don't know. I took it as
I know.
If let's say my dead animal, Ariel, comes and visits me in my sleep, right? And she tells me everything's okay, everything was meant to happen like that. That's true?
100%. According to this guy that answered this Quora question.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's so much we don't know. And I think
there's a lot that goes into it. Like more than just like, this is this, this is that, it's not all black and white, like straight and forward and simple answers. I don't think that the dreaming is not very simple.
Right. Well, I was also going to think if someone knew the answers to these questions, they'd be rich. But I think actually they wouldn't be rich. They would be in an insane asylum because no one would believe them.
Or dead because the government killed them.
Possibly so. Conspiracy theories. Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, where's the little panel that you bought?
Oh, I did buy a panel with sound effects. I forgot about it. It's not hooked up yet.
Damn,
We'll
that
hook
would have
it
been
up.
perfect. Dun,
That
dun, dun,
that would
dun.
have been, oh, I've got to figure out how to use it and set it up. Hey, it
Okay.
was all I could do to try to get this microphone and headphone thing set up today.
Yeah,
So
because someone here is old and doesn't understand technology.
not that old. Oh
I'm
my
just kidding.
God.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my Lord. Okay. So the next thing that you will do, so if you're going to dream walk with someone, you have to focus on them and have them focus on you. And
Hmm.
you want to set up a time frame so that you're not asleep trying to dream walk into their sleep and they're watching the soccer game at 11:30 or whatever. So you
Yeah.
need to kind of coordinate so that you all are both on the same page as far as trying to get into each other's dreams.
Hmm.
And doing this is a great way to test out whether you actually have dream walked or not, because you can then turn to them the next day and say, hey, what did you dream, and see if you all compare.
Yeah.
You can meditate on the person's face using your mind's eye, which would be a hard thing for those people who can't envision things in their heads.
Yeah.
Put yourself in their point of view and think about their feelings. Align yourself with the energy that they have. Like your husband's is not your energy, but his energy. So align
Yeah.
yourself with that. And then you can try to build that psychic bridge. You then allow yourself to fall asleep, holding on to the sensation of your target person,
Hmm.
and repeat affirmations like, I am crossing into his dreams, or I am about to enter his dreams. And I found a couple websites, and actually, you guys, you can do a Google search and find tons of these, but I found 2 rituals that
Oh.
are actual sites that say they have these actual spells to help you do this dream walking ritual. And Alora, in her otherworldlyoracle.com site, which was really informative, she has a ritual called Simply Sandman.
Oh.
And she said you'll need 2 red chime candles. Do you know what a chime candle is?
Isn't it one of the ones that you like, it's dipped, it's the long ones?
They are long and tapered, but they have this small hole near the top that
Hmm.
allows this chime rod to go through. And when the candle is lit, the heat from the flame causes the chime rod to vibrate and make a soothing chiming sound.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool? They're available in different sizes and colors and scents, and you can use them for all kinds of different things, aromatherapy, meditation, because sometimes that sound helps you get into meditation. I didn't know what a chime candle was. I had no idea until this spell said you need 2 chime candles. I'm like, what the heck is that? So I had to look it up. Then you have white string, you have music of some kind, something to carve your candles with, and then you need a dreaming tea. And she said you can find all kinds of dreaming teas out there, but what she uses is valerian root, chamomile, mugwort, and honey. And you carve your name and any other information that you might want into your candle, pretty much dress it like you normally do for candle spells.
Okay.
And this signifies your identity within the ethers and allows the other person's consciousness to find you. And you might want to put their name on it as well so that you can find them once you're asleep. You take this white string and you tie it to the wick of each candle. You've got 2 of these red chime candles. And so you tie the white thread to each wick so that they're tied together. This will signify tying your consciousnesses together in the dream space. And this binding only lasts as long as you're in that dream space, but it does bind you to that person for a period of time, which is why it's very important to make sure that the other person knows what's going on if you're going to do it this way.
Hmm.
Set up your soundtrack, get your Spotify ready or whatever audio soundtrack you want. And this music should be played by both people. So if you're not laying next to each other, if they're in their apartment and you're in your apartment, you have them both, everybody plays the same music together so that you're synchronized. And this allows your sleeping brain to remain on the frequency of that music together. And Alora says that she likes to use Evanescence or Enya or Fleetwood Mac, which are all wonderfully witchy music. And, she said the music's up to you, but it should be something melodic and meditative for both of you.
Okay.
And then you bring your tea into the bedroom, which she said you should brew it about an hour before you're planning to do this. And you pour a cup of it and you start sipping it. And you light the string in between the two candles in the center. And you meditate on the candle flames while you're drinking your tea. May only be 1 cup of tea. You might have to have 2 cups of tea. She says a lot of times it takes her 2 cups to get into that state. Once you've finished your tea, the candles should be about half to 3/4 finished. Generally, chime candles have about a 30-minute burn time, which is why they're perfect for this dream walking ritual.
Unless if your tea's too hot.
She said to start the music, synchronizing it with your dream walker partner so that you're both on the same wavelength, so to speak, and then have that music on repeat. So it'll start over again when it finishes. You continue meditating on the candle until the candles burn out. And once the flames are out, your tea should have kicked in and you'll be ready for bed. Once you wake up from your dream, you record everything you saw, felt, and experienced so that you can compare notes with your dream walking partner.
Okay.
So I thought that was fascinating. She put a lot of thought into it. I like I said, it was an excellent article.
Yeah.
And then I found another spell, so to speak, on the Learning Witchcraft site, learningwitchcraft.com. And she says you need strong energy, a vivid imagination, memory, and the ability to connect. Hers was not as detailed as Alora's was, but she said you might want to execute a power summoning spell because it takes so much energy to try to dream walk. So you picture yourself and this individual that you're trying to dream walk with somewhere. It can be anywhere, but it works better if you pick a place that has some relativity to the person.
Okay.
Think about what you're wearing. What do you look like? How is your hair fixed? Or is it parted on the side? Where are your bangs? What color shirt do you have on? What design? What are your shoes? Think about what they're wearing and what they look like. So you're getting in your mind this detailed set of both of you dream walkers.
Okay.
Consider what you want to tell this individual about what you're doing. Try to keep your mind clear, as it will help you remember as much of this fantasy that you're building in your head after you wake up. Then she said to store the details, but she didn't say, how do you store the details? Like in your mind, is she talking about, or in a journal?
Probably like a journal. I would do a journal.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And then you go into a meditative state. You clear your mind of all things except forming that connection between the two of you. You envision a route from your body to their body, and you feel it linking the both of you together. And you allow it to connect your energies, your thoughts, your spirits. And then you can bring both of your spirits together. Imagine them getting their wow. I told you these drinks are strong. You feel them. The two of you are thinking together as one, feeling together, you're breathing together. And then you go back to remembering the facts that you had stored, and you guide your soul to each other. Just let yourself fall asleep, imagining that your mind is fading out of your body and to the body that you've created in your imagination. Don't fight with the sleep. Let it come. And you may not recall the dream for the first few times that you try it. She said it took her at least a dozen times until she was able to remember the dreams. And she also did say, keep a dream journal. And, she said it's very complicated due to all the details that you have to remember. And so it might not work, and she says it'll be even tougher, as bringing your spirits together is imperative for the execution of this spell. So in case you've got no relationship to the person that you're trying to visit, it's even harder. So I think it would be easier with a spouse or a relative or a best friend.
Someone you know.
And then another site said, if the person that you're trying to dream with is asleep or dreaming, you're aware you are in a dream. So just like we were talking about before, you got to learn how to lucid dream. You've got to learn how to understand that you're dreaming while you're in your dream.
Okay.
And she said, all you do is close your eyes, say the name of the person out loud, form the image of their face in your mind behind your door, behind your closed eyelids, and start spinning around in circles. She's like, that's right. Hold your arms out and you spin around in circles as quickly and fast as you can. And when you feel like you're in their dream, feel free to stop spinning and opening your eyes, and you'll just know when you're there near them. I wish it were that easy. I don't, for her,
Yeah, would you
apparently
not
it
be
is.
dizzy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
And I just don't think it's that easy. But then again, I haven't tried that. And this has worked for that person.
Yeah.
And then back to Alora again. She has some guidelines that she recommends.
Okay.
She says you should never dream walk into someone else's dreams unless you have their express permission. Check on your motives. Why do you want to dream walk with this person? Also, mental health is super important. Dream walking is a work of the mind. So if you or the person you're trying to dream walk with has some kind of mental health issue, keep that in mind as you do this dream walking. And then one person should take the role of the dream anchor, which I hadn't thought about this, but it makes 100% sense. A dream anchor is the dream walking, and the dream walking is a person who initiates and ends the session.
Oh,
this
okay.
person is the anchor between dream space and reality.
Oh.
And you should know ahead of time which one of you is going to be the anchor before you start dream walking. And if it's you, you should know how to end the dream walking, which anchors typically find that using a specific hand gesture or a phrase to bring them out of it works great. So this had me thinking about all the things that I thought before I did the research on this episode, you know, all the movies that, or books that have dream walking type of things in them. So like Doctor Strange, the new one, Doctor Strange 2, there's dream walking in the movie, but it's not like what I just talked about. It's dream walking into an alternate version of yourself in a different dimension and universe, which is a very cool concept. And actually, somewhere, I think I've got more on that concept in a minute. I might not. But Nightmare on Elm Street, we all know the Halloween movies, Nightmare on Elm Street series. That's where the undead killer can kill people in their dreams. So that's definitely dream walking. Dreamscape, I think I mentioned this one before. It goes into a more scientific basis for dream walking. It has these machines that synchronize two people. You know, they're connected through these electrodes and that kind of thing. And it allows the anchor to go into the dreams of another. And in that movie, Dennis Quaid was the main character. And he helps this kid defeat a monster in his dreams. He's having these horrible nightmares, can't sleep. And, you know, he's very ill because of it. And so Dennis Quaid, through this link, is able to go into his dreams and help him fight the monster. And eventually he learns how to go into dreams without the help of the machine. It used to be that he would have to be in the same room, and then he's able to do it not even in the same room. And he ends up helping save the president of the United States. So interesting movie. And then The Matrix, it's not exactly dream walking, but these people are all connected via machines and live in this virtual world that they think is real. And there is a way to wake up out of it. There's actually a new Matrix out that I haven't seen yet. I want to see the newest one. I haven't seen
it yet either.
Yeah. I need to rewatch all of them before I watch it though, because it's been so long. And then this is creepy. This is a story of, quote, this man, end quote. So in January 2006 in New York, the patient of a well-known psychiatrist draws the face of a man that has been repeatedly appearing in her dreams. And more than one occasion, that man has given her advice on her private life. She swears she has never met the man in real life.
Okay.
This portrait lies forgotten on the psychiatrist's desk for a few days until another patient sees it and says, oh, that guy was in my dream. And he's like, what? And so that patient says, oh, yeah, this guy's visited me in my dreams. And so the psychiatrist was like, well, where did you meet him? Do you know this guy? He's like, no, I've never seen him before in my life. So the psychiatrist is intrigued, and he sends the portrait to some of his other colleagues that are dealing with patients that have recurring dreams. And within a few months, 4 patients recognized this man as being in their dreams. And all of the patients referred to him as, quote, this man. So from January 2006 until today, at least 8,000 people have claimed to see this man in their dreams. And in cities all over the world, Los Angeles, Berlin, Sao Paulo, Tehran, Beijing, Rome, Barcelona, Stockholm, Paris, New Delhi, Moscow, etc. And every one of them says, nope, never seen him in real life. They've tried running facial recognition on him. They don't find a real person to go with it. And so at the moment, there is no commonality between these people that are seeing him. No one knows who this man is, but he's showing up in these people's dreams. And you can actually go onto the internet and look him up. So Google this man.
Do you have a picture? Did you go see?
I did. I went and looked it up. There is a This Man website. Fascinating.
Did you see his face in?
I have not dreamed of him.
This man. Dreams?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do images.
That's a creepy picture, but no.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all go Google it. Fascinating. So who is this dream walker that's going into all these people's dreams and giving them advice that apparently is good advice?
I would not want his advice, though.
He is creepy looking.
He looks scary, like he would try to do something sinister.
Yeah, he didn't give me good vibes either. Yeah, fascinating.
Interesting.
So I want to start trying to dream walk, which it is a long process. So I've made myself a dream journal. I think I might even have a dream journal for sale on my Bats and Baubles. If I don't, I'll try to put one up for sale, and then we can all start trying to do dream journaling and start dream walking. But I feel like you and I might be good at dream walking together, or you and your spouse and me and my spouse. It would be interesting to try.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how it would go, but I would have to get there first to be able to control my dreams. And I'm nowhere near being able to do that.
Yeah, me neither. I've never even, maybe once or twice in my entire life, have gone in my dreams and said, wait, I must be dreaming. Very, 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 very rare. And you've got to get to the point where you actually know you're dreaming.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes time. But how cool is that? I thought it was a neat episode. It was a lot more interesting than I expected it to be.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, me too. You want to do the outro? Because I didn't write it down.
Oh, I'm gonna mess it up.
That's
again.
Okay. Our listeners know. They know us.
Yeah, that's all that we have. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
If you want to check us out on anything, you can find us at www.c3witchypodcast.com. There you will find everything, our links to our social medias. That's YouTube now with all of our episodes up. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We do a lot on TikTok. You can also find our merch and our episodes and updates and our newsletter. You can find everything on our website. If you go to our website, you have the homepage, and then you click the 3 little dashes at the top right to open up the other channels. Yeah. Then you can click on our other pages. I think that's it.
Oh, support us, please.
Yes.
If you support us, then we have a whole nother series that we put on an After Dark series where we talk about the darker side of magic. And that is exclusively for our patrons and subscribers. And thank you so much to those of you who do that for us. We talk about things like, I think last time we talked about voodoo. We've done sex magic. So yeah, definitely come support us and you'll get access to all of that. Also on our Patreon, which is how you can become a patron, we have little goodies for you to do witchy to-do lists, that recipes. Wren does a lot of recipes. She is an amazing kitchen witch.
I've been lacking, but I found a new recipe that I'm going to try to put up on either TikTok or on Patreon or something.
Sounds lovely. So yeah, just support us. Also review us. That's another way,
Yes, reviewing us does a lot.
Yeah.
Even just going to YouTube and clicking subscribe. It's free.
Oh, for sure.
It helps us out a lot. Or commenting or just, doing anything really helps us out.
Oh, yeah. We love to hear from you guys too.
Yes.
We've got one patron, Greg, who contacts us a lot, and it's wonderful to
Mm-hmm.
hear what his
Mm-hmm.
thoughts are. He has a lot of ideas for episodes too. So if you all
Mm-hmm.
have an idea that you want us to talk about, let us know, email us, and we'll try to get it together for you.
Yes. Yes, we
Okay.
will.
Well, we will be back.
We'll be back.
And until then, stay witchy.
Woo.